Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Late Friday night, some really intriguing news for the Florida Gator fans coming out of the recruiting trails. Three-star tight end Micah Jones from the state of Mississippi committing to the Florida Gators. Now, for Florida fans, we've kind of talked about Micah Jones, but we haven't gone in depth on his game. I think the first thing you got to start out with is this is a true tight end prospect in an era of high school recruiting and high school football where a lot of these quote unquote tight ends just play wide receiver at the high school level. You take a look at Micah Jones in his film. He plays a lot of inline tight end, can get it done in the run blocking department. I think kind of fits what Billy Napier wants from his tight ends. If you want to play tight end for this Florida Gators program, you have to get it done in the run blocking department. Micah Jones at 6'5", 250 pounds can certainly get it done in line as a blocker. And then as a pass catcher, this is a really big frame that can command the middle of the field. Now, he's not necessarily the juiced up tight end athlete like a Kyle Pitts or like an Arliss Boardingham, but he's a guy that he's going to be a matchup nightmare for defensive backs in the middle of the field. He's got a really big frame. He plays with really good physicality. And you talk about red zone targets, moving the chains on third downs. This is going to be a big time target over the middle of the field for quarterbacks like DJ Lagway. Fired up about this commitment, want to get into the film. Before we do, and as always, just want to say thank you to you guys and to the Florida Gator fans. Been a blast talking this program on the recruiting trail. And for Florida, it's going to get real over the next couple of weeks. This is their sixth commitment in the 2025 class. You kind of feel like this is going to be the avalanche. You're going to see a lot of commitments over the next couple of weeks. Really looking forward to breaking down all the commitments. Appreciate you guys rocking with it. If you all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. And without further ado, let's get into Micah Jones. And again, before we get into the film, what does Micah Jones do best? He is just one of those physically imposing tight ends. And you just don't see very often these kind of tight end prospects coming from the high school ranks. And why I think he really stood out to Billy Napier. I mean, this Florida team runs a lot of 12 personnel using two tight ends. And you look at the Florida offense, you have to be able to get it done in the run blocking department if you're going to play tight end for this Florida Gators program. And it's not always flashy to talk about, but for these kind of teams, it matters. And you look at Georgia or you look at Michigan, two other teams that like to use a lot of 12 personnel. Yes, these guys can be good pass catchers. You don't play on those kind of offenses if you can't get it done in the run blocking department. Micah Jones, that's probably his best asset that he's going to bring to this Florida program. And it's something that doesn't always get talked about, but you look at one of the biggest prohibitors from young tight ends getting on the football field at the collegiate level. It is dealing with physicality and blocking in line. You look at a lot of these tight ends coming out of high school, they don't play any inline tight end. They're just split outside as jumbo wide receivers. Micah Jones is refreshing because he plays a lot of true tight end at the high school level. Want to get into the film and just kind of talk about the different ways you can get him involved. One thing that I think kind of stands out is how he releases off the line of scrimmage, kind of playing this H-back role right here. I mean, there's going to be just about as obvious as it gets a holding here. And Micah Jones just works through it. Ball goes in the air. Kind of a functional athlete when the football is in the air. Like, he is as natural as it gets for someone 6'5", 250 in terms of playing that football in the air, getting off the line of scrimmage, beating some contact. Again, a very hard tight end to reroute at the line of scrimmage, which again is really important. You talk about that tight end position. You are consistently working through traffic, working through contact. Can you do that? This is, I think, one of my favorite pieces of film. You look at Micah Jones here, one, lined up kind of right on the inline. Looks like a tackle right here, right? 6'5", 250. This is a imposing frame. Look how he deals with, I mean, he is just ragdolling people at the second level, getting off and play action, being that just big body target that commands the middle of the field, getting upfield, can give you some yards after the catch ability, not because he is a burner, if you know, I guess burner in terms of straight line speed, but like a 6'5", 250-pound body, that's tough for cornerbacks and safeties to try to bring to the ground. You continue to work through the film. You kind of just see the different ways, getting him out to the flat, letting him have some space, and again, just physically imposing guy to kind of try to bring down. I like this get, but I think I particularly like the fit in this Billy Napier offense. He looks like an offensive tackle in line. I absolutely love the frame, a true tight end prospect. And again, working through some contact, commanding that middle of the field, just being that big target that command the middle of the field. Again, it's not always flashy. This is what you need from your tight ends. And this is a guy that can go up, make plays on the football, bounce off some contact, and then get upfield. Again, he's not going to be a 5-star prospect because he probably doesn't have that, that NFL upside that you might be looking for. But in terms of Billy Napier, how he wants to run this offense, I think you got to feel pretty good. And you go to this class in 2025, as I'm trying to pull it up here, it's sitting at 66. I know Florida fans know more than anybody not to worry about what the recruiting rankings are in the middle of June. 6 commitments. What does that tell you? The avalanche is coming. I mean, Florida is going to fill up this class, and they're going to fill up this class rather quickly over the next couple of weeks. A lot of commitments to break down for the Florida Gators. A couple of targets that I really like that are trending to Florida that I'm fired up to talk about. We'll cut it there. Appreciate you guys. Hopefully y'all have a phenomenal Friday night for the Florida fans. Gets a little bit better with 3-star tight end Micah Jones committing to the Gators. Appreciate you guys rocking with it. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to y'all later. Peace.